What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Roy Jones Jr. Y'all must have forgot. Get this. Roy Jones Jr. says boxer quit in biggest fight of his career. How bad do you want it? Roy Jones has weighed in on Oleksandr Usyk's ninth round stoppage of Daniel Dubois in Poland last month and has pulled no punches. The two main talking points that arose after the Unified Heavyweight World Championship in Poland is the low blow that Usyk sent and whether or not Dubois later quit in what was the biggest fight of his career. And this is what Roy Jones Jr. had to say. He said, "You're in a world championship fight. You get hit by a jab, you go down, and just quit. How bad did you really want it? A jab? Usyk is already known for a big explosive punch anyway. You go down, you go down from his jab. He ain't really known for a puncher. So how you gonna go down for a jab? So you go down for a jab knowing you ain't getting hit by a puncher or a reputation for a puncher? Well, and you go down like that and then you stay down into the 10th round, into the 10th count? What's wrong with you? Look, I think everybody need to understand that this is real boxing, and boxing requires real people. If you real people, you got real hearts. If you got real hearts, you got real desires. You got real desires, that makes you real champion, see? Because sometimes you don't want to get up sometimes. You don't want to do this sometimes. But sometimes you're going to have to do what you need to do. And Daniel Dubois didn't do what he needed to do. He stayed down like he didn't want to do it. So guess what? We can't award him any kind of championship desire or heart or championship status at all. So at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, the man quit. And I can't respect that. Those are the words and spirit of Roy Jones Jr. Let me counterpunch. Roy's right. I mean, see, this would be different if this was Wilder's right hand. This would be different if this was Joshua's left hook or Ruiz's left hook or who else? You know, some other big punchers punch that landed solid, flush, and it was like, hey, that's a hard shot. It was a lot to muster. I get it. I understand. Daniel Dubois, you got to get yourself together, and you didn't do it in time to beat the count. I would understand that 100%. However, that didn't happen. You got a guy that's known for his toughness, speed, agility, ring IQ, experience, but not really punching power. Now, he punches, okay? He punches hard enough to get your attention. He punches hard enough to swell you up. He punches hard enough to keep you guessing and to gain his respect. However, he is not known for that guy, and it makes it that much worse for Daniel Dubois. And back to reference what Roy said, this wasn't just any fight. This wasn't for one belt. This wasn't for two belts. This wasn't for three belts. This wasn't even for four belts. This was for 5 belts. Because you forget, Oleksandr Usyk has every single belt except the WBC. Every single one of them. The IBO, the IBF, the WBA, the WBO, the Ring Magazine. Those 5 he has in his possession. Daniel Dubois comes in with a regular WBA, and really he came in with a mandatory opportunity. Okay? He came in with a mandatory opportunity, and this cat decided to go down, and stay down over a jab. It ain't like the jab pushed him down, okay? Daniel Dubois jumped. It's almost like he decided, like, you remember when you were a child or a kid and you went to elementary and they did fire drills? And then, in the fire drills, they say, oh, get out on the ground, and you get down and you put your hands on your head, you know what I mean? And you conduct the drill, you know what I mean? And the way you get down, you got to do it in like kind of a prompt manner because it's urgent, because it's an emergency situation, even if it's routine or whatever, but you still did it. You went down like this and you got down. That's what that reminded me of Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois went down on the ground as though like it was almost asked of him to do so. Bow! Oh, let me get out. You know what I mean? So it like to me, seriously, that did not look right. It didn't. It didn't look right. It wasn't the ideal thing to do. And I think there should have been more in Daniel Dubois, okay, to get up and fight and rally. And like I told everybody, it would be different. The 5th round would have amplified itself if it wasn't for the 9th. See, really, I didn't really understand the eighth round knockdown. I mean, I thought that was kind of weak. But the 9th really made me like, dude, what does this dude really have in here? You know, what's going up here to dictate what's in here? Like, what's really going on with this guy? Because I don't really see him, you know, like, I don't see the urgency. I don't see the effort. I don't see the desire, like Roy said. I don't see any of that. You know what I mean? That want to get up, that want to like, no, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't let this go out. I can't miss this opportunity. You know what I mean? It was just like, it wasn't enough, and the effort was not there. So, Roy Jones doing that, saying that, see, and that's coming from somebody that knew, hey, I got up, or I at least, look, Roy Jones Jr. was knocked out cold in the second fight from Antonio Tarver, okay? But he at least tried to get up. There was a desire there after getting nailed like he did. There wasn't that in Daniel Dubois, neither was he hurt as bad. Then that's the problem. It would be different if you seen, and if this dude was knocked out cold, that's different, because that at that point, someone pulled the plug on your computer at that point by a punch, by a golpe, right? And then that everything went black, and then you get up, you're furious, and you got the people in auction, they're talking to you, you know, how many fingers am I holding, all that stuff. That's different. Daniel Dubois, that wasn't the case. This was a decision based on who he was as a person. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Roy Jones Jr. blasting Danny Dubois. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!